If you haven't heard by now, then you are truly missing out. Also, the question is why are you here? Regardless, thank you for coming. Homie and the Dude have designed a swashbuckling combat overlay to lay over D&D 5th edition with airship, spaceship, and sea and land vehicle combats. Overlay. Their mission is to build a dynamic, fun, simple, strategic, and highly adjustable system to tailor for all DM and PC appetites, from super crunchy to mostly RP based combat. That's right. Finally, the vehicle overlay that we have all been dreaming of. Create a fun, simple, yet dynamic system that complements and doesn't overwhelm traditional 5e player combat. Um, with a PDF of dozens of pieces of original artwork, dozens of custom sky-based feats, dozens of features, spells, and magic items, a sky battle map for VTTs, a GM and PC Zephyr combat tracker, some high res artwork, and game ready stat blocks of Zephyrs and their crews. Even a custom ship builder. Ooh. This Kickstarter was created for you to customize your bag of treats for exactly what you want and leave out the stuff that you don't need. If this all sounds interesting to you, follow all associated links in the associated descriptions so that you can go to their Kickstarter and save the Kickstarter so that you get notified when it does go live. If you do decide to subscribe to the Kickstarter once it does go live, not only do we get 10% of the profits, but you also become an official playtester with your name included in the PDF. And get the STL files for 3D printings of multiple ship crews. Really, all around, an amazing Kickstarter filling in an aspect of our games that is sorely lacking in the basic set. Actually, I own a lot of different modules and a lot of different settings, and none of them cover the complicated aspects of actually how to use those ships, those Zephyrs in their game. They just say, "Oh, here it is, and here is the stat block." Not really helpful for actually having helping you understand how it actually works. So very much needed, and when it does go live, I guarantee we are going to be using it in our game. Again, if that's interesting at all to you, check out all associated links. But I am going to send this over to Brian for our recap.
Oh. That brings us to yesterday. Or, I guess today. Where we were... where we started off by burying the remaining assassins and bringing them and heading towards Nicodranus. We got stopped, obviously, with the assassin we were carrying, and this allowed us to very quickly get an audience with the guard who asked what was going on. This allowed us to let them know that foreign assassins were on their land, and possibly get information if everything goes well here. So, we should probably spend some time making sure we can speak to the higher ups in Nicodranus to let us see if we can listen in on the investigation to do with the assassins and their goals here. Beyond that, we've just been hanging around here in Nicodranas, and, well, we just met you, and I cannot wait to introduce all my friends to the rest of the crew. Once we're out of the bath, though. It's been a really long time since we've been out of the bathhouse. Or had access to the bathhouse. I got excited and my words got jumbled together.
Like, that's like quite the adventure there, Brian. I mean, if I didn't know you and your tendency to find adventures and whatnot, I would say it was all bullshit. But I can see you're telling the truth.
Would I ever lie?
Yes.
She gives you a look.
Yes.
Look.
Also,
Look-
you have a tendency to over-embellish everything. Let's not forget about that. You know,
Truth
you
is
know,
important to me. It's
presenting
important to the
storytelling
entire kobold soul. Like,
I'm
poor tenant. Do I really lie that much?
no, you don't. I was giving you a hard time. No,
No, I'm just simple with you. Just sometimes, not that much.
She's gonna look over. Okay, all right. Well, I only embellish for a good story, right?
Fair enough.
Belia gives you a wink.
and for Bellwether.
Well, I mean, Bellwether's what she tells all the stories to. You know,
True.
he gobbles them up like she gobbles his cheeses.
We all gobble his cheeses.
Oh, did we bring some? We could totally bring those out and share.
I've got my Swiss cheese right here.
In the bath?
Well, no, it's in my haversack.
Oh. That's probably a pretty good place to keep it. Would keep it from any atmospheric problems.
That's your concern? I love that.
I just
Great.
hope that
Good job, Brian.
I just hope that the grappling hook doesn't get a
Cheese in
hold
the
of
bath. Cheese in the bath sounds great, but I feel like it would totally ruin the wheel.
Oh, you see, she stretches and says, all right, you mentioned earlier about, like, the, heading over to the Pearl.
Yeah.
We've been in here for, about an hour or so, listening to your story. Why don't we take a gander over there?
It's only been an hour. I've barely had time to relax.
Who needs relaxing when you've got adventuring to do?
it.
You just really want to see one of us buy something from that store, don't you?
I've always wanted to see somebody buy something from that store. I've never been able to afford anything from it.
Hey, oh, Captain, my captain, what's my budget out of the gem stock?
No. Well, I took about 500 out, 500 gold of worth of gems out myself, so it give or take maybe a couple hundred in that range. It should be fine.
That's barely enough for anything. Fine.
Well,
No. I used my money on stuff earlier. I understand. I also got this cool coin. Did I teach you any of my language, Belle?
Are you talking You're talking about Sylvan?
Yeah,
I never really had the mind for languages.
bullshit. You're good at everything.
Let me see it.
She's gonna hand over the coin.
Hmm.
Oops.
Even
Sorry.
evening.
Ooh, deep speech.
I did not mean to drop that. I was clicking around in my own proficiencies.
Or are we flexing language proficiencies? Language common. There you go. That's my language proficiency. There's no speech. It's just language
You
proficiency.
see, she mutters under her breath, even evening isn't even. I've heard this phrase before.
Really? I don't remember it, but I'm impressed you could read it.
Well, she goes into a in-depth description about language roots and all the way back to
This is what I mean. This is the nonsense. You're saying you can understand any Fey language just from its root.
I mean, I can infer. It's not like I have a complete comprehension. Like if you just start like talking to me, I won't be able to understand, but reading is significantly easier. And if you look at these she points at the different stylings of the writings and explains
so
that yeah, it's a simple phrase, one I'm moderately familiar with.
Well, flip the coin.
She flips the coin. Let me pull this here. So I didn't realize the coin was going to come up instantaneously. I have to. Wrong one. 4. Okay. She flips the coin and looks at you and says, "Well, I mean, this is very interesting. Not, I don't really know what to do about it. Um, where did you find such a thing? Was this in that portal place you were talking about?"
Was. What was the effect on a 4 again?
Charm.
Ah, yes. So I guess we have to make saves, don't we?
Well, you are the holder of the coin, are you not?
I'm currently holding it, but I handed it off to her, right?
Right. But it's not like it was flipped to her. It was flipped herself.
Right.
So the effect is on her because she caught it. That's how it worked with.
No, sorry, I gave her the coin and asked her to flip it.
Right, and she did, and she caught it.
Oh, I see. So it just charms herself. Gotcha.
Remember, because you tossed it to Edward.
Right. I thought it worked like an AoE around it. I'm trying to.
No.
Okay.
Single target damage.
This is the only negative effect.
Fair.
And even it can be manipulated.
Well, it's actually a magic item. I was hoping you'd get a little bit more of a flashy effect, but
She looks at you, like her eyes wide, and like she smiles. Not that much different than what she would normally.
yeah. Oh well. May I have it back?
Certainly.
Well, you were saying you really wanted to see somebody buy something from that shop, and we've been wanting to go. So,
Let's go.
everybody ready?
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's go. I'd love to peruse some magic items.
Okay. Making your way to the Pearl of Rarities, which is really just around the corner. Ba, 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 ba. Hmm. Being really slow.
EM loading tip. If you give them a random magic item, they will start using it randomly all the time.
DM loading tip. I'm putting someone in charge of making up DM loading tips.
It certainly ain't gonna be me. I give
You
questionable advice.
all find yourself standing outside a square building with a shiny dome rooftop. As you open up the front door, you hear a little chime, and it appears to be bigger than the outside would have one believe. You can see it's stocked to the brim with shelves and displays, and there's one long counter that runs the entire inner wall, separating the customers from what is behind. Okay. You see a middle-aged pretty boy, a water genasi. He seems to be focused on a book that is out in front of him. Kind of buttoned up tall, and has a air of je ne sais quoi about him.
Hello.
You see, he picks his eyes up off the book, and just about the time, like just two beats after the chime of the front door, and says, "Oh, why, hello there." And he closes it gently. How can I help you today?
I am mostly looking to browse, but I'm also in search of a very specific ingredient of sort, not a magical item by itself, but perhaps adjacent.
From
Um,
magic items, potions, and spellcasting materials, we have everything that you need.
I'll promise. Tuft of fur from a werebear?
A tuft of fur from a werebear. Give me just a moment. And he, as he walks back into the long rows of storage behind the counter, he says over his shoulder, "Feel free to browse my wares in the meantime." Ba-ba. And you see several items that are immediately eye-catching.
Whoa.
Ooh, shiny.
Oh,
As he heads back to look for werebear fur.
Dude, that's
Quacksilver
Mimic Cloak.
blade.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. The Quacksilver Blade. The Mimic Cloak? Oh, that sounds scary. Shards of Frozen Time. We have to ask about half of these at least, right?
I don't even know how to pronounce this one here that he has labeled.
That's my favorite.
Hey, you're
No.
the language expert. How about you say it?
She
Arabic?
points to a small sign just out like off in the corner, like right below the name of the of the of the sword of the sword, and
Magic
you
Rock Pierce?
see that it says "Do not attempt to pronounce."
Oh, that's even better.
Oh no!
Is that the challenge, or is that like a warning that like some kind of demon will kill you if you try and pronounce it?
I'm guessing it's a warning.
You
Let
think you
me-
could get a warlock patron from that?
I wouldn't
Wait,
try
they
that.
have-
You've
they
got
have
enough.
Saxon-
You have enough pace.
Oh, bro. I'm so sorry. I was rolling this is like I said, I was rolling privately to see if we would
Uh-oh.
have it in stock, and I was gonna say on an 80 or higher they would actually end up having it. And I rolled a nat one.
79.
Oh,
okay.
on 100?
No, well done. Well done,
So
you.
no.
They take away bear fur from other places.
You see the gentleman come out, and you see he as he comes back around the corner, he's like scratching his head, and you see a small little name tag on him that says Neterus. And excuse me, Narius. That's something I don't know how to pronounce. Narius.
Do not pretend to pronounce.
Or Narius.
Do not attempt to pronounce.
Um, and he's scratching his head, and he comes around, and he looks rather confused and says, "I am so very sorry. Um, I have it appears to be missing. Um, I apologize about the inconvenience. Could have sworn we had some in stock."
Hey, with that weird thing that like is impossible to pronounce that no one should make an attempt to, do you think like there's anyone in the world that can pronounce it? And if so, do you think they can put an imprint of Magic Mouth on the thing so that whenever you tap on the glass, it actually
Um,
pronounces the thing?
so I just so happen to be able to pronounce it.
Do you think you
Now,
can seal a Magic Mouth into that?
I am not certain if it would work that way. You see, when you speak the name of the sword, it summons an imp.
I was kidding. I was fucking kidding.
It summons an imp. Um, Now, generally speaking, the imp would be the one to wield the weapon, and it would act mostly as a familiar. Um,
Oh, that's badass.
Now,
Cool.
I will say, is only contracted to stay an hour once its name is spoken, um, and it cannot be summoned more than once a day. But imps and those of the Nine Hells are fickle creatures, and it does not particularly like if you mispronounce it. If you mispronounce or stutter, the imp attempts to kill you. Um, Although using its nickname, Malice, does not count as a mispronounce, but it does not summon it either.
You know what? I'm interested. I think I know what the Zapier does, but I'm fascinated in these other items and what they do.
It's a
Cool.
Quacksilver
So,
blade.
oh yes, the Quacksilver Blade is a rather interesting achievement of magical means. You can always speak to ducks and geese, and they can also understand you if you speak duck, i.e., quacking. Um,
I speak duck.
but it has two features that are of note. One, whenever no creatures other than beasts can see you, whether it is because you are over behind total cover or successfully hidden, invisible, or other similar conditions, you can shapeshift into a small duck.
Oh my
You
god.
can stay as a duck in this way as long as no creature other than beasts can see you. And of course, blind sights and divination abilities do not count to cancel this feature. Um, while in your duck form, you retain your hit points, your intelligence, your wisdom, all your personal stats like charisma and whatnot, as well as any bonus that you have to stealth checks. But for all other purposes, you use the stat block a of a duck, i.e., an eagle. Um, you don't benefit from the keen sight features, but you do gain a flying speed of 40 feet, and you also have a swimming speed of 20. Your talons attack is basically a beak attack, and it deals bludgeoning damage instead of slashing. Um, there is also anatidophobia, which is while you're in your duck form, you can use an action and target a creature you can see which doesn't see you up to 60 feet, and make them feel the intense dread of a duck watching them from somewhere.
Like a
Um,
periodically evil duck born of
the
more malice?
the creature remains frightened for as long as you can see it, and you remain a duck, but it cannot see you.
I wonder if this blade was made after, in honor of the story of that chaotically evil duck.
Who knows? Legends all around. Regardless, any other questions? Things that you're interested in?
What does the arabesque do?
Ah, arabesque. A simple weapon. But as you can see, it is, and you see he picks it up, and it looks like light as a feather, as he holds it. It's a swift and very light blade that naturally flows through the air with ease. It cuts so smoothly that its attackees feel no pain, but still causes damage. You do gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon, and you can move an additional 5 feet as a part of your attacks, either just before or right after your attack. This movement does not expand your regular movement and does not trigger opportunity attacks.
Omae wa mushinderu.
Nani?
That's basically this sword. That's basically this sword. Oh, I love it.
What kind of language is that?
I'm not familiar with it.
I don't remember the origin of it, but it's an old saying. It means you're already
From
dead.
What linguistic, or like what in linguistic root? I should ask.
Bella chimes in and says, I think it originates back in the age of Arcanum when there was a subsect of people who spoke a language called Japanese.
Okay.
Anyway,
So many questions.
And you
How
said
did you
you.
come
any
about learning
questions
such
that
ancient
I can
dialect?
answer for you?
No, just why an archaic language is being thrown around.
Yeah, how did he come about to even acquire knowledge of such archaic dialect?
Anyway, shot of frozen time.
Ah, yes, Shard of Frozen Time. The Shard of Frozen Time is a tiny piece of crystal that encases, as you can see, and he holds it up here, and it's very small, um, encases glistening sands appearing in a sort of stasis, stopped in a graceful shape, reminding you of a Mobius band. At the end of your turn, while you have this item on you, you can choose to immediately take one additional turn, including full movement, action, and possible bonus action. As you do so, the shard is destroyed forever, and the sand within it whirls around you until the end of that turn, and then disappears. A moment of time, frozen in crystal.
Seems like it could be useful.
And also terrifying.
True.
And he gently sets it back into its holder. Anything else?
Don't believe so.
I mean, I mostly came here looking for materials for arcane components and magic ink to scribe down spells. I believe you have that amongst your inventory.
Certainly. And how much fine ink and paper are we looking for?
First off, can I get some, fine familiar charcoal, herbs,
Certainly, certainly.
that, of that stuff? Let's see. I'm going to purchase 5 of these because
Okay, 50 gold.
All right. Let me subtract that from my inventory. 50 gold. Five of these. I'm gonna look through my spells. You put it in Flustered by Love, right? 150, 350. I already have all of these. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna buy 350 gold worth of magic ink and, paper to scribe the spells.
Anything else for you?
Pardon?
Anything else for
Anything
you?
else? At the moment, I think that would be sufficient for my needs.
What do you think, Brian? What looks good amongst all these items? What draws your eye the most?
Well, Malice? Sounds like he could be incredibly useful if we have somebody with a deft tongue.
A death tongue.
Deft. So not you.
Do you want me to also explain the other ones that we haven't, just so that you know what they
Yeah.
are?
Sure.
What's
Yeah.
the-
I would
Okay, so
love
the-
to get a crack at pronouncing that
what's
thing.
the-
No!
Uh, the Zapier is a magic rapier. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage. It deals lightning damage instead of piercing. Once per turn, you can choose to make a ranged attack against a creature that is 60 feet away instead of a usual melee attack. That is just its own thing, right? Then this is the rare variant. It is the rarities. You can also cast a spell Lightning Bolt with a DC 15 using this weapon once per day.
Oh,
Oh.
The Eye of the Investigator is a magnifying glass that has 3 buttons. By pressing one of the buttons, you can choose one of the following effects, which apply for an hour when you look through the lens up to 15 feet radius around you. While you're using it, you have dark vision in this range, and once you have used this item 3 times, you can't do so until the next dawn. Okay? There's Tracker Sight. You can see all footprints of all creatures that walked in the space during the last 24 hours. By manipulating the button, you can narrow the time you research, right? You can also choose to focus on one type of footprints of your choice, making all of the other footprints appear almost invisible, while the ones you choose appear to be glowy through the lens. You can, for example, choose specific footprints of a person, race, or even a type of shoe. Very Scooby-Doo. The Blood Seeker. You can see traces of blood stains dating from up to 1 year, even if they have been cleaned, but not if they are totally covered. Magical text is also seen through the lens, floating around blood you observe, indicating the race of the blood's owner, the age of the stain. You can narrow your research by manipulating the button, be it by race or how ancient the stain is, right? Then there is Mage Eye. You can see spells and traces of magic. Arcane text indicates the school of magic, and you have advantage to all of your arcane checks to determine the nature of a spell when using the Eye of the Investigator. The Elixir of Mermaid Voice. After drinking this potion, you gain an amazing and beautiful voice for 1 hour, which is equal to a +5 bonus to any performance skill check rolled to sing or tell a story. In addition, you can cast Charm Monster at will while under the effect of the potion, but only on creatures with an innate swimming speed or a innate swimming speed with a CR less or equal to your proficiency bonus. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for Charm Monster. And once a creature succeeds on the saving throw by the spell, they cannot be affected by you casting it again in the next 24 hours. But the potion lasts for 1 hour. The Meal Wish Cauldron. You can wish a meal to appear from this cauldron by putting gold pieces and jewels in it. You must spend 10 gold to participate in the meal. By participant to the meal. Excuse me. The meal appears in 1 minute out of the smoke emitted by the cauldron, and takes about 10 minutes to eat. The creature eating the meal gains a number of temporary hit points equal to their proficiency bonus plus their con modifier. A creature can only gain this benefit once per long rest. Important, you can put 1,000 GP or jewels of gems of the same value
Hero's
into the
Feast.
cauldron and cast the spell Hero's Feast.
Hey, that's a really good spell. Like advantage on wisdom saves and a ton of temp HP and everything. It's an amazing spell. Expensive, but really good for like, boss fights and stuff.
The Mimic Cloak. While wearing this cloak, you can use an action to shapeshift yourself and the object you are carrying into an object of your choice. The object has to be small or medium. You can't copy complex properties like liquid, gaseous emissions, heat, chemicals, resistances, etc., etc. But once this ability has been used twice, it cannot be used again until the next dawn, so twice a day. If the object is composed of different parts, those parts must be in contact and cannot be separated. You must concentrate on the ability as if you were concentrating on a spell. And you can keep the shape for 1 hour or until you break concentration or use your action to return to your humanoid form. Give me just 1 second. I'm getting a phone call here.
DM phone call tip.
Oh, the Zapier looks cool.
Honestly, I love the look of the arabesque. But then again, of course I have a predisposition for enjoying things that have gold along with it.
Oh, there goes our beloved.
What did the Mimic Cloak do again? Or have we gotten to that?
I believe it allows you to be a mimic.
In a sense.
No, it's just for appearance purposes. I'm sure you can use it as camouflage, but it's not quite exactly full-on mimic ability as much as it is you gaining the ability to masquerade as, something.
Okay, sorry about that.
I always remember one of the teachers. I can't remember their name. They said the strongest magic of all time was chronomancy. Greatest magic of all.
Time.
So I'm just gonna sorry. I'm just going to go to the mimic cloak so I can finish telling you what that does. While transformed into the object, small or medium, your AC is 10 plus your con modifier. You can't speak, but your walking speed is 15 feet. You gain blind sight in a 30-foot radius,
Oh hell.
and you are
Oh.
indistinguishable from an object as long as you don't move. The only actions you can take on your turn are dash, dodge, hide, make a perception check, insight, or an investigation check, or turn back into your humanoid form. Alternatively, when a creature, huge or smaller, touches you with an attack, you can use a reaction to grapple it. Your cloak becomes the adhesive. Escape DC of 13.
Oh my god.
So think Beauty and the Beast with a mimic.
Oh my
Like, if you
god.
think about it, I suppose I suppose, you know, all of the paranoia for mimics could somewhat be justified given the existence of this item. You never know who might be carrying it.
You know, I really like this actually. You can turn into a small object. Do you recognize how powerful that is?
I mean, yeah, you can carry somebody in a bag, have them turn into an object and then hurl it and have them dismiss it. Instant transit. Yeah, I can even
Well,
teleport it halfway across.
Less violent methods, perhaps. You could just give the item to somebody, say turn it into something pretty, have them bring it wherever they will, untransform, take all the other valuables in that space. I mean, isn't it a little irresponsible to have something in this store so prone to being used for a thief?
He looks at you and says, well, some people might have theft in mind. He kind of looks at and glares at you. Others might see it as a defensive tool if somebody is looking for them. Hide as a simple armchair, for example.
While trying to avoid being caught by guards because you stole from some. It's perfectly designed to be a thieving option. Why are we selling this?
Roll me a disadvantage charisma check.
I mean, it can also be
Persuasion?
used to spy.
What are you persuading?
I'm trying to
Are you telling him to take it off
him-
the shelf?
I'm
'Cause
trying
he
to
will-
convince him that this is a item he doesn't want in his store and that could hurt his reputation.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do it at disadvantage because you insulted him.
Can I force
Fair.
a 20? Can I force a 20 with the portent die?
You
Because
can.
I think that'd be fun.
Oh my
Okay, that
God.
would make it a 27. Please understand, I'm just looking out for you and your store. I think it's an incredibly useful item to be used in the hands of those who we know are with the law.
Son of a bitch.
Elbows.
You see his
Elbow.
eyes go wide.
I'm gonna elbow Moonzik, like take out the fucking law enforcement badge
take out
that
the
says
I caught on. I'm gonna catch on and just take out the judge's pin. Please understand, we're only mindful of these crimes and have crimes in mind because, well, we're enforcers against said crime.
You see, the all of this together has made him simultaneously panic and then relax. As he says, certainly, certainly, I wouldn't want it in the wrong hands. If you would be so willing to take it off of mine, I don't actually want this object in my store. It to possibly go into Nadugator's hands. Um, Unfortunately, I did pay a significant sum of money for it. But I'd be willing to sell it for you at cost. 2,000 gold.
Cheem will nod at Brian.
Well, we wouldn't want a store owner such as yourself suffering due to trying to do the right thing. Sounds like a
I
win-win.
definitely, I completely agree. Oh, that kind of put me in a bit of a panic there.
Of course. Well, Brian doesn't actually have the money. I'm assuming we do, given that I was just given the nod.
Yeah. I'm assuming we still have gems left over.
Yeah, we just haven't appraised them.
Right.
Would you be willing to take a written note for a half a day while we procure the actual hard gold? We don't bring it everywhere we go. Can't be too cautious.
Certainly, certainly. I will not sell it to anyone else in lieu of your absence. I wouldn't want to.
Of course.
And most of the items in my stock here have a fairly slow rotation anyway.
Is there anything else? I mean, this one obviously we're looking at for the safety reasons, but was there anything else that caught our eyes?
The Quacksilver blade?
I think it's hilarious, but
Zapier looks nice.
I do agree.
But if it's too much, I understand not buying it.
how much
But
is the
here's the thing,
Quacksilver blade?
here's the thing. Out of character, Emily didn't say that there was a save on the Frighten.
Yeah, but that's the that's the fear of a duck watching them.
Yeah, but as long as you're not noticed or seen,
How
there's
much
no
was
save
the
on Frighten. They just have
Quacksilver?
disadvantage on everything, on all attack rolls.
God damn it.
How much
I'm
was
just
the
saying.
Quacksilver blade?
I'm just saying.
Put up.
So hypothetically, if I can get an unseen servant, which is invisible by default, to use
You
the
might.
Quacksilver
No. Must be attuned.
blade.
4,000.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a
figured.
fascinating and hilarious item.
Truly.
It's probably
And
that's
They
probably
pay for it. The world's most hilarious prank.
and
Also,
pronunciation roulette.
Malice. Let me see here. Pull it back up. It is 3,000.
That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this is gonna be more expensive than the others, but I am curious about Arabesque.
Oh, Arabesque. Pulling it up. Funny enough, it is it's 3,500.
Less than the Quacksilver blade, Probably
I-
because of the fear exploit.
There
And-
are, I should say that there are more arabesques in the world than there are quacksilver blades. You may possibly, if you come back again in the future, find it once again. But that is no guarantee. We think there are probably 10 in the world.
10.
And how much would the Zapier be?
Zapier is common and 1,000.
Really?
Soren's gonna look over at Moonzik.
You can see the old man Jeem kind of thinks it over for a minute, and he says, if we still have means for it in our gems, then sure, it's always handy to have lightning damage on our side.
Yes, has come fresh from Port Zune, so
I kind of figured that's where it came from. It has that aesthetic to it.
Hero's Feast is a good spell.
certainly.
You said
I can't deny that all of these items are incredibly useful.
the Zapier was the rarer variety, and it's
Oh, did I say there was a rare one?
because it can cast lightning.
Oh shit, then it is not 1,000.
I was gonna say that is stupidly cheap.
Very cheap.
Why'd you say
For-
something?
for lightning bolt.
Because
It
I
is-
don't want
it
to
is.
I didn't
break.
want to say
Firebolt.
anything.
Because I don't want to
You wanna
break
buy it
the
with
fucking
the
game,
lightning.
Dawn.
I looked. I forgot that I had made it the rare variety. 5,000.
That's
Yeah, that's out of our price range.
yeah.
For now. We should probably also save some money for the auction if we wish to attend.
That's true as well.
That is true.
We should probably appraise some of the gems for that as well. As well as
As I believe we got some profits from.
yeah. We should also gather together the magic items that we don't plan on using and potentially sell it there tonight as well.
I'll sell it at the auction, of course.
Right. Which we'll talk about that later.
Well, let's go liquidate some assets. Come back for the Mimic Cloak, perhaps an Arabesque, and if we did well with that, with the liquidation, then we'll look into more magical items or other things at the auction, right?
Now, I will say, all of my magic items go up on auction except for the Mimic Cloak. And every fortnight. So, which I believe is coming up here in 2 days. That being said, it is no guarantee. The starting bid is, of course, not much less than what I sell for them here.
But you might
So-
also have some new inventory if it went up.
Certainly. Just something to keep in mind for the lot of yourselves.
All right.
Guaranteed prices is better than possibly having somebody else outbid you on them.
Very
Oh.
true.
I think
We have
you
a
all
friend
forget.
at the auction that we must meet, though, so we will be attending either way.
And I think you all forget there is someone who's the master of the auction here as we speak. It's gonna
Sorry.
wink.
Arin. Each auction house is different, too. Some are more about theater than actual wisdom.
I guess we'll find out.
And as we walk out, Soren's gonna scold, or Shame is gonna scold Soren and be like, and what if you try and go for an item that the broker also wants to go for? Do you realize how
Well,
screwed you'd be?
Well, we do have a budget. I won't go over the budget so long as you tell me what that is.
We have to assess that, and then we'll talk about it.
Figure out. Let's
As
figure
you
out what we're worth.
as you walk out of the Pearl of Rarities, does anybody want to try to pronounce it?
No!
Yes.
Seeing as you're
No!
no longer in its
Yes.
range.
As
don't-
long
we
as
don't
I'm
have it
not in
on
its
us, right?
range. As long as I'm not in its range.
You're
I
not
agree
in
with
this
that
range.
statement.
Hashnevadik Narhajmalis.
Close.
Narhajamalis. Would be Narhajamalis.
Ashin Vardikin are
Maybe the H is silent. Maybe
Jarmalis.
just
No.
J as in Ja.
Yeah.
All I know is the apostrophes aren't supposed to separate the words. They're supposed to add it on to the.
Nervalis.
Oh.
Wait, what does that say underneath it?
Maybe the H is also silent too. Ash.
AKA
Oh,
this
uh,
fucking imp sword or just malice. God damn it.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the linguistics derived from this
Hasnevardik
makes the H's English.
Narhajamalis. I added an L. It's also way harder to speak in an accent and this. I mean, what accent? What?
Asnadik
Oh.
Najmalis. Ajnadik
Keed
Naja Malis.
Raven Pisha.
Oh, I tried.
Salam? I think it's backwards. I think there's a word here. Wait a second. Oh, it's not in deep speech, is it? My character might be able to pronounce it better than I could if that is a bunch of deep speech languages.
Is it like infernal? Infernal is like demon.
Yeah, it's probably infernal.
It's infernal.
Yeah,
It's infernal.
it's infernal.
Does anybody speak infernal?
I know
Maybe.
Windchime does. Tieflings start off with infernal as like their thing, starting language. but-
Tieflings do
I
start
do.
off.
Windchime is no longer in the game.
Yeah, she left a while ago.
I do, however, speak infernal.
I don't know why she left.
She told me earlier she'll be back when she can.
Okay.
Okay.
Understandable. Anyway.
Okay. So, where are the lot of you going next?
Well, we need to figure out how much money we actually have.
I mean,
What
was
is
very curious about-
Brian's friend's name?
Bella.
Bella, do you want to
Bella.
see a really cool trick?
Absolutely. I don't know why she's on. Absolutely, I do.
Should we show her the rose?
We should show her the rose.
We've told her about it. What's the harm?
it's still. I feel myself quite intrigued about this thing. We could head back to my place or yours, Brian, and use it there. I know it's on the other side of town, but better than some random alleyway, you know?
Funny you should say that.
Why is that
Are you-
funny?
The first time we attempted to use it was exactly in an alleyway.
Iconic.
If you guys would like, you can use it now, and I can make my way back. That way, we don't have to walk all the way back and then use it.
You know where you're going?
I believe so. Yes.
Roll an
All right.
intelligence saving throw.
So finding an alley that is out of sight and away from prying eyes. You, um, the rose gets handed to you, Soren, and planted in the ground. The didn't play today. Huh. Wonder why it's not playing. There it is. As the ground cracks, and a 5-foot break is formed for the lot of you to jump in. Something interesting happens when you walk through the portal this time. You notice that there are 2 options.
Oh?
Oh,
What are the options?
You
I'm
have
assuming the door with the vines around it is not one of them.
it is.
It
Yeah.
is? Okay, then it is.
You
Or
see that both the door to the Feywild and the door to Firewatch are present. And you are all
Interesting.
able to hear each other in this
You
liminal
hear
space.
Soren sneeze.
How? What? We're able to
What?
talk now.
And the portal to the Feywild is still here.
It is.
Now that is fascinating.
Can they hear me from the other side, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna hear Soren say, "Told you so."
It's. I don't know.
Podcast.
I don't know if this rose is able to accumulate portals.
I have multiple theories,
Let's save them for later.
and I have several questions.
Let's also save those for later. For now, we have business to attend.
Yes, the business things.
As you all walk through the Firewatch door and find yourself in the basement, piles of gold and piles of gems scattered about the room, and piles with little walkways between. Truly a treasure trove.
Truly.
And it's hard to imagine that this
Wow, this
Right.
is, you were not kidding. This is a serious amount of gems. Oh, you see her hands go out to touch them, and she like cups several of them in her hands and lets them fall. Wow, I've never seen anything like this. Good job, Brian.
Well,
Incredible.
not just me, but this has to be enough to maybe make a splash at one of the for one of the items at the auction, right?
I would imagine so.
Well, it's
You can probably take a look at how much there is here and maybe get a rough estimate.
Now, I was asking you to keep track of it.
I wasn't.
uh-oh.
I don't think.
Remember, there
Uh-oh.
was not a specific amount because we had discussed about how much you were willing to keep versus how much you were willing to give.
Right. We
Wasn't it like 25%? We gave.
we gave like all the gold, I thought, to the people of Fail, and
Yeah, and we kept all of the gems,
of the value of gems.
but we don't know the value of the gems.
Yeah,
Right.
and of that, I took about 500 to
There's
500 gold worth to sell.
Wait, no, that's not right. You did not take 500 golds worth.
Yeah,
No, you took far more than 500 golds worth.
I did not in Port
He
Zoom.
did not import soon. He only took 500 gold
Oh,
worth.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about gems. I was like, what the fuck? No, you took like 50,000.
Yeah, but we don't actually know that number. That's why we're talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we kept
So
the gems, gave the gold, and then now the gems have to be sold in order to get the gold.
and we
So-
don't actually
Or-
know
or
how
sort
much.
of
Currently, all of to continue to do the repairs that you need on Firewatch, right, for the
Mhm.
conceivable future, and to have that kind of put out of your mind. I think that we had discussed a fifth of that, so about 10,000 gold for upgrades, upkeep, furniture, the possible building of a dock,
All that
etc.
Shazam.
Which. Okay.
Shazam.
Fortress money, about
Fortress
10,000.
money.
So there is still 40,000 remaining.
39,500.
30. There you go.
Okay.
And also keep in mind that the amount that you take out is not necessarily the amount you're going to get when you have them appraised.
That. Well, hopefully, if we do our jobs right with the various whoever we're working with, we'll get close to that. Might even get more if we're able to sell them properly.
Perhaps. But the jewelers that I tried to sell to last time originally wanted 300 gold for 500 gold worth of gems. Just bear that in mind.
Yep.
Okay, so how much approximately how much are we taking out?
Oh, we need to have 2,000 for the cloak. What if we took out another 10,000 to be able to throw at an auction? Not all at once, obviously, but that would give us the kind of buying power to maybe look at a strong item.
I think that'd be fair.
There's also Arabesque, which seemed like we were very interested in that.
Just for clarification, what type of weapon is Arabesque considered?
Yeah.
Arabesque is a scimitar.
Ooh.
So it's
Oh.
still proficient.
I was expecting this to be a short sword, not gonna lie.
Scimitar and short
Scimitar.
swords have identical stat blocks.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I would have been able to use it, but that's Moon's item.
The Zapier is a rapier.
Yep.
Um,
What about the portal sword?
Ashnavar Dik Nahar Jamalis is a longsword.
But
Can any of us even use that?
well, it doesn't
Longswords are
really
martial.
matter. We're
Swords are
mostly
martial. No.
their sword isn't really what's important. It's
Correct.
mostly the fact that
Because
you have a
the
demon that wields it.
Yeah, the imp familiar wields the sword and acts takes its
Yeah,
turn right
create
after
a
you.
1/1 red imp token and attach it to equipped creature.
Alright,
Sorry, attach it to token.
the last question I have for Arabesque, the one that's going to make or break it. Does it require attunement?
Yes,
Oof.
it is a +2 magic weapon.
So basically, it would.
Well, actually, technically, it doesn't say that it requires attunement, but I'm gonna say that it would require
Plus
attunement.
two
Yep,
magic
DM's
weapons
ruling
don't
supersedes
norm.
the
Yeah,
text.
I will say that +2 magic weapons don't actually normally require attunement.
Do they not?
No,
They don't. Like, anyone can pick up a +3 and not attune it, and it's just a +3. But if
Just
it's
a
like a weapon
+3.
that does require tuning, the magical properties of it don't apply. So, for example, a
Yeah.
Vorpal sword requires attunement. If you
it-
don't
it-
attune to it, it's a
Well,
regular
No,
lump.
then it does not require attunement because it is not innately magical.
it's just really high quality.
It's just very, very high quality.
Yeah,
What about like the
D&D
what was
ruling
it
is
like
weird.
the 5 feet of
That is
movement?
not magical. That's just because it's so light and easy to use.
Okay.
And even the fact that it cuts so smoothly that it causes no pain is really due to the quality of the blade.
Yeah, attunement's just about how much magic you can hold in your body before
So
you
then
start
the answer is
dying from
no,
it.
it does not require attunement.
Well, fuck.
You know, Moon.
Ashnavar Dik Nahar Jamalis does require attunement.
Really?
Yes.
Then why
You're
does
only-
the sign say that you can't, that not to attempt to say the demon's name?
You can ask him about that when you go back if you're so interested. But it does very specifically.
Oh,
And
I have no doubt. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah, so for example, the reason why is because you are developing a relationship with Malice,
Which makes sense.
right? So the hour-long attunement is just your first summoning of Ashnavar Dik Nahar Maja. Oh, now I messed it up. Ashnavar Dik
A curse! A curse on your house!
Nahar.
Sorry.
So I guess I just gave you the answer, but yes, it does require attunement. The Zapier does not require attunement.
Really?
Nope, it does not require
Really?
attunement. I'm reading it
Wait.
right now.
Wait, like
Right.
even though you upgraded it to a rare variant? Because
It doesn't say it doesn't say it requires attunement. I am just gonna stick with that then.
Oh, okay.
The
So that's part of why it's so
Quacksilver.
expensive.
Yeah, Quacksilver does require attunement.
That's fair.
And importantly, the Mimic Cloak does not.
Really?
Yeah, does not require attunement. Neither does the Meal Wish Cauldron. Obviously, the Elixir of Mermaid Voice is a potion. The Shard of Frozen Time obviously does not also.
What about the magnifying glass?
It does not.
Huh.
Well, good to know that the cloak won't cause us to lose attunement. You know, we might be able to get a better deal if we do the gems in bulk. A jeweler would more likely have to. I know it's risky, but the Sylvia family has more things to worry about right now than hunting down missing gems.
That's
And,
true.
I mean, pay the right money.
And from what I remember of the news traveling, it doesn't seem to be an extremely hot topic. If
Not
it's
for a little bit.
It was a hot topic. I mean, think about what it was like in
Mm-hmm.
Port Zune.
It was hot topic. It was just
oh,
not,
it's just the writing of it didn't kind of like
right.
yeah. People were buying. Yeah, you're right.
It might be easier if we did it out of country, all of that, but I mean, it's also easier to take a one-time discount on. The gems are selling all right here with very little suspicion.
I think we could
Let's
probably.
hold back on liquidating all of it, obviously.
Right. A good chunk of it wouldn't be too bad, though.
Do you know any place in the city that will buy at a reasonable price? That won't ask too many questions?
I mean, I don't uh I don't normally deal with gyms and whatnot. Um, but I do know that there is there there is Thistle Do Nicely. Um, though whether or not I would trust Thistle Do Nicely to give you, I definitely wouldn't buy anything from them. I've heard some rumors of questionable goods being sold.
Well, let's get our negotiating caps on.
I mean, I don't know if it's not gems in particular that she would buy, but Lean's Extraordinary Armaments does weapons and metalworks, and a lot of times those are embedded with jewels and gems. Um, I don't know if she'd be able to buy your whole stock, but she is very reliable.
Right. What do you think our chances are of, and I'm directing this at Edward, of convincing This'll Do Nicely to, well, play nice and give us a correct amount?
Okay. So we're trying to get at least the fair price for whatever assets we're trying to liquidate, right?
Without too many questions.
Without too many questions. How do you propose I magically assist in that? I know I can throw up some thought reading, but not
I'm just
sure.
wondering if you have any,
I mean, an appraisal spell itself would require me sinking another
no,
sum.
not an appraisal spell. A, I'm thinking more of a,
Distort value.
no.
No.
We're not trying to distort. I'm trying to see if your divination magic sees anything positive in us going to one of these shops, and which one it
I mean, I
prefers.
can throw up an augury. If that's what you're
Sure.
suggesting.
Somebody roll me an insight check on this like situation, the vibes that Belle has told you.
Is this like a money laundering hub? I feel like this feels like a money laundering
Just
hub.
roll an insight check.
I'm rolling
I
an
did.
insight.
Okay,
It's a 5.
it's definitely a money laundering hub. With a
Sure.
16, you get just, and with your experience in the city, go ahead and actually make that with advantage because you do have experience being here, and see if it's any higher. If not, that's fine.
It's unlikely to be higher. Yeah.
So,
That is not
with
higher.
with that, with your experience being and having lived in Nicodranas, you know that what Bella said was true about Lean, and her in her extraordinary armaments. You think that you're far more likely to be able to sell your goods at a reasonable price that benefits both parties than at This'll Do Nicely. This'll Do Nicely is off in it's more of a pawn shop
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like the
than
cash quick thing, right?
yes, it is.
It's
It
Harold
is
the
a fast
jewelry
cash
buyer
machine. Um,
for all of y'all who live in, well,
so
it's Harold the jewelry buyer.
you're far more likely to be able to get a reasonable deal at Leans, but you're not going to be able to sell as much. Not without some serious,
rising suspicion.
honestly, well, or some serious like you remember.
Unless you like made a deal preemptively or something, right?
You actually know this because you are interested in adventuring. Um, the halfling Lean who owns it, what is a retired adventurer, and while she is not like of like major renown, she is probably one of the more well known in the city that are actually still here.
Well respected.
Many adventurers that are coming out of um, out of the academy find themselves going to hers on recommendation of professors for armaments. It's not, and again, it's not like her stuff is particularly cheap, but it is reasonably priced. That would benefit all parties. And you would assume that would be true in selling goods as well. So if you could use that knowledge to try to butter her up in a way to try to get a better deal, or be honest with your exploits is another way that, being that she is an adventurer, she might be more lenient. But you're not going to be able to sell as many as you would by going to This'll Do Nicely.
Right.
Yeah, so it's either quantity or like better quality, better value or like larger quantity, right? You get to pick one.
But that's just
Oh.
your thoughts on the matter.
Yeah.
Because remember, she doesn't need as many gems,
Mhm.
but she would still probably be willing to buy other items as well at a fair price.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
While you're discussing this, back in Nicodranus, Soren, you're making your way through the city, towards the academy. Here.
Indubitably.
I need 2 rolls from you.
Yes.
I need a perception check and an insight check.
I need 3 rolls, real quick.
What's your third one?
That one.
Bold of you to expect anything bad from
What
a
was it?
druid with wisdom.
Oh,
rolls.
okay. And then you wanted insights.
And perception, please.
My favorite. Oh,
Okay. You with an 8.
it's in that one.
You've never been to this city before. But based off of what Brian had been talking about, this very vibrant city with a lot of energy, you do feel like you don't have any reason to think anything in particular, but the streets are quiet for being in the middle of the day.
Oh no.
And it's
That's when you're
probably
quiet.
because of the quietness and you being completely alone that you do notice out of the corner of your eye Melora's lighthouse.
Oh no.
And as you glance over at it and it catches your eye, the light is not shining.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna start making his way towards it.
Okay. Making your way to the tall structure. We're going to go back to the party at Firewatch. Discussing your plans. Have you come to any decisions?
Let's take a few let's take some of the more valuable individual gems. And yeah, let's take some of the more valuable individual gems and head over to
Head over and sell them.
exactly. But specifically high money, right?
That's our goal.
So just the most valuable of the gems.
Okay. And you wait for the door to be opened again. In the meantime, are you going to give her a tour?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's not going to take as long?
I'm gonna assume that we'll be told, so we'll take a tour, but have somebody keep an ear out.
As you give Bella a tour of Firewatch. Soren, as you start walking into the direction of the lighthouse, you see a middle-aged tiefling woman talking with a halfling companion. And with your 17, you hear her say, I hope they get the lighthouse working again. My wife's ship is supposed to dock this evening, and I'd hate to have them try to navigate the coast without it. It's got me worried.
As Soren runs up and starts waving, I'm the chosen one, stand aside!
He's just gonna run on by.
Continuing on past, still with your 17, you hear an elderly, grizzled dwarf talking with his son. I wonder if the Lightkeeper finally kicked the bucket. About time, if you ask me. She's been upkeeping that wreck of a temple for ages.
He's gonna glance back, but he's gonna keep running. I don't know.
As you approach the base of the temple, on the stairs you see a small, actually a growing collection of people who let me just sorry, give me just 1 second. I wanted to change this. Right here, there it is. You see a growing collection of people, and an elderly gnomish individual who is holding a sign above his head that says "The end is nigh," and yells at this group of people, "Beware! Beware! The shadow that covers the Wild Mother will soon descend upon us all! Save yourselves! Save yourselves!"
He is adorable.
He's gonna tap one of the people in the crowd on the shoulder.
Okay.
Excuse me. Do you know what's going on?
No, you see, you tap on the shoulder of a mid-20s dragonborn. No, I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm here. Hoping. I mean, I did hear like I overheard a conversation between a couple of Zalejo over there. He points to a group of Zalejo that are standing and watching the end is nigh sign guy and the crowd that has formed. I did hear them talking about how they had sent some scouts in to see what's going on. I mean, maybe you could ask them?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm just trying to piece everything together and perhaps inform others about it. I will go check with him. Thank you. And he's gonna leave to go talk with the group.
So you walk up to a small group of 3 Zalejo guards. As I'm just gonna still keep your 17 because this is all just role playing anyway. As you begin to approach, you see a young human who appears to be nervously whispering. to a man who looks a bit older and like he's more in charge, and says, "What do you mean? The scouts haven't returned? They left for the lighthouse ages ago." As you walk up to them, you see that the older guard kind of gives the young human a tap on the shoulder, drawing the attention to yourself.
Excuse me, do you know what's going on? I've been hearing quite a few accusations, I guess, and I just kind of want to get the story straight.
We are currently in the process of identifying the problem, and we have sent scouts in to see what is going on.
And they haven't returned yet, or have you just sent them?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Ooh, yes, charisma. Something I don't know how good I am at. Persuasion.
You don't know until you roll, unless you're a portent wizard.
Oh, yikes.
Sorry, that information is supposed to be kept away from public ears.
If I recall correctly, this is me out of character, not remembering. English. Chimera Moonzik. I forgot which one of them. One of them's part of the Clovis Concord, though, right?
Half of your party is.
Oh,
Yeah.
half. Oh,
Anybody with a judge's pin, so like everyone except for Gordon.
I mean, there was one other person, but he's currently not here.
Yeah,
Anemo.
two other people.
I'm part of a party with a bunch of people from the Clovis Concord. I'm just trying to get it together so I can maybe report back to them and get their help.
The Clovis Concord. Do you have a writ?
That's the judge's pin, right?
Right.
I do not know. I am not one of them that is part of it.
Please. I promise you we have this under control. You see... No, never mind. You don't see that.
Can I roll to see it?
No. You already did. You already had an insight.
Can I see anywhere off in the distance that might be like somewhere nearby that is like behind full cover or something so nobody could see me or anything of what I'm about to do?
Yeah, so there are a couple of small alleyways that you could tuck behind, but this area is kind of popping off. All of the quietness you experienced before was because many people have congregated in this area. Those who have friends and families out on the sea, and those who have a relationship with the Wild Mother, and those who just want to see what all the talk and commotion is about. But with your 17, you're able to kind of go off a bit of ways away and find yourself a secluded corner.
While he's running away, he's gonna say, "All right, thank you. I will be back." And when he does find the secluded corner, he's gonna plant the rose and yell into it.
What do you say?
Hey, I could use you guys back here. There's something going on.
What did you do?
Oh, I haven't done anything yet, but I'm about to, and I'd like some backup, if possible.
Yet.
Brian,
it's the
Bella.
unicorn situation.
What? Brian, Bella.
Coming. Are we finally going through? Taking 3,000 worth of gems, yeah?
Yeah.
You might want to leave the gems for a minute.
What?
All right.
I mean, unless you want to take them with you, that's fine as well. But we are
No.
going somewhere else.
Leave them.
We can come back later for them.
We should probably see what Soren's gotten up to.
Gosh, why does everyone assume I've done something wrong?
Well, I mean, you did say I'm not in trouble yet, and then you immediately call for backup. I feel like, that insinuates you're about to cause some commotion.
He's got the point, you know.
Alright, just hurry. You win, okay? It might be a little trouble, but in my defense, I've got nothing. Hurry up!
I'm gonna pop.
All right. I'm
Let's
gonna
pop
head
through.
to the portal back to where Soren is.
The lot of you find your way back through the portal, and into a small alleyway, and find yourself coming out to the site that I just had described to Soren.
So apparently, the lighthouse is not producing any light. The guards have sent a search party up, and they have not come back. And apparently, the elderly woman that might be running the place died. I think that's everything I've gotten. But anyway,
And the
I
search party
feel
hasn't
like
come back.
That's the important part.
yes, I feel like we should probably check that out. I tried talking to the guards, and I brought up that you guys were part of the Clovis Concord, and they, I guess, did not buy my shenanigans, but...
So you admit
Oh,
the
well,
shenanigans.
Stonewalled you.
You can't just have someone claim they're law enforcement and treat them like they're law enforcement. Everybody.
Oh, I didn't claim I was one.
All right.
Edward, are you ready to put on the law enforcer bit?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, then over here.
I really need to go to that judge and get one of those.
So I'm just gonna show them where the guards are.
Well, will you stay back for this one? It might
I
get dangerous, and I don't want you hurt.
You see, like, there's a look on her face, like she does want to go, and then Nahiri pops up and says, "Why don't I stay here with you and we can go grab some coffee or whatever? They do this all the time. Don't worry about it." Yeah, sure. Cool. Yeah, let's
So-
go grab some coffee.
So, like, hanging around these people sucks. They constantly leave, huh?
Is Windchime also going with them since Lily isn't
No,
here?
Windchime will be coming with you.
Okay.
Time to get to work.
As you approach the
three guards.
the Vallejo, you see that the young human guard from before, who seemed to be nervous, looks at you and kind of gives you like an apprehensive smile.
I'm gonna give him a big smile back and like bound up, stop, give him a little like salute into a wave. Hey, I'm back, and I brought my friends.
Right.
These are the enforcers of the Clovis Concord that you had mentioned.
Moonzik's gonna flash his pin.
Party
Yeah.
associated with, yes.
Yep. We work under them.
Roll me a persuasion check at advantage. Anybody who would like to take the lead on this?
Oh yeah.
I'll go for it.
Perhaps our bard lock would like a crack
Or
at it.
music. Anyone with a positive.
Or
Charisma.
I will say
24!
okay. Yeah, that works as well.
24
Okay.
is pretty good.
then flashing the both of your pins and kind of putting on this air of I know what I'm doing.
Bravado of authority. A bravado.
And the Zleho, who seemed to be the superior, looks at you a lot and says, well, suppose we could really use the help.
What's going
We
on?
can't, currently, we're struggling to identify the problem. As I'm sure your friend has mentioned, based off of what he was saying to me, he seems to already know that our scouts have not returned. Honestly, the
He's gonna
hardest part right now is the people. We really need to fix this and quell the populace's rising unease.
I see. So for the time being, I'm assuming your concerns are directly shifted towards easing the uncertainty of the public, given that you don't even identify what the nature of the issue is in the first place.
Well, that is why I'm here, of course. We're making sure things don't get too out of control, or though Mr. Mr. Rakonovich over there, he is not helping us out. He's not doing anything wrong, of course, but
You mean the guy with the end is near sign hung around his neck?
you hear him say, "Beware! Beware!
Moonzik's
Save
gonna
yourselves!"
Moonzik's gonna like wave his hand over to him and then like lower it me like in a keep it down kind of voice and keep it down kind of wave.
Roll a persuasion check. At
Can I help?
disadvantage, because he is all over the place.
At
Um,
disadvantage, you said?
Can I help with
Yeah,
that?
plus you're it's very passive as well. You're not like going up to him either.
25!
Okay. With a
Guess
25,
I don't need help.
your eyes flash to him and he looks at you, and you see like a moment passes where he almost looks like
if you want, if it makes it easier for you, you could say that I'm holding ghost eye when I flash a look at him.
there. Then he feels
It's extra spooky. It's not even a persuasion check. It's an intimidation check.
It is an intimidation, but it's fine. It's fine. Bonuses wouldn't have changed it.
Not really, no.
And it would have actually turned it into advantage. So,
25.
Regardless, you see that he kind of like quiets down and says, you see him muttering to himself as he takes a big sip of what is probably alcohol.
Is that a little bit better?
Huh. You really do have quite the way. Well, if that's the case, and you are law enforcement, we could really use the help right now.
I'd be happy to help. Anything that we should know before we head in there?
Well, it's not... We don't really have a lot of information. You see the young human, nervous, pops up and says, I don't really know, but I can tell you that it's like the whole place has been overcome and tangled in shadow. It feels so unnatural. I could have sworn I saw like a burst of sickly purple light out of the eyes of the Wild Mother.
Would this have any sort of resemblance to any thing that matched Like, would this description have any resemblance to a callback from either, like, inside the cave with the fit when we first opened the Feywild portal, or to the corrupted statue of Melora with where we saved the unicorn?
Roll me an
Does,
insight check.
does it whoops. Insight. All right.
It could. I mean, this is all about nature.
Definitely some kind of dark magic.
Something tainted or foul in arcane nature for sure.
Kind of looking the lot of you up and down. The guard says, "Well, you lot look fairly well armed and whatnot. How about we offer you a reward if you figure out the cause of the Wild Mother's disenlightening."
Investigation?
I suppose investigation is partially our strong suit, given our history.
Fabulous.
And, perhaps a potential, if such a thing can be solved, potential bonus for fixing the problem, if it can be so easily fixed.
If resolving the issue is within the scope of our capability.
At advantage.
Make a persuasion check at advantage?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear half of that. Oh, at advantage. Gotta go click that. Persuasion.
Well,
25.
if that is something you are all capable of doing, I will see to it to the best of my abilities. You will be handsomely rewarded.
Let's go.
We should also see about making sure that the group that went inside are okay as well.
I can do that. Soren's gonna point at himself with his thumb, with a smile, as he's slowly starting to shimmy out of the circle of the group towards the lighthouse.
Brian's got a huge smile on her face. She cracks her knuckles. Well, time's a wasting. Let's go.
Let's get a move on.
As you journey along the gentle northern slope leading to the Mother's Lighthouse.
Are we on horseback?
No. I did not think so.
Let's make a big a show of this as we can, just to show the people like we're going in. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, am I allowed to ritual cast as we journey in?
It's not. Yeah, you can ritual cast something.
Right,
okay. Detect magic for me.
I'll throw up an unseen servant.
Okay, so
just dancing lights.
Okay.
is gonna have his billowing cape like flow to the side like the wind is blowing.
But you are you on horseback or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You just said we didn't have our horses.
I didn't think so, but then you said you wanted to make a big show of it, so I wasn't certain.
We can make a big show of this without being on horseback.
Yeah.
I cast fairy fire on one of us, so we glow.
Please
Okay.
don't do it that way, but yeah.
Let's go ahead and take this down because there's a lot of things happening at once, and I want to clarify.
Magic spell or magic?
Rocky, that includes you.
Yeah, sorry.
So, Rocky, you are casting Unseen Servant.
Yep.
And Brian, you are casting Detect Magic.
Yeah, Brian's gonna open up her book and start flip to the page and start audibly enough that the people in the crowd can like hear her start a spell. As we start moving towards it, start ritual casting.
You see, making your way up the stairs, you see a small like line of guards, like 3-4 of them, who, upon having received a nod from the Zalejo down before, kind of splits open to let you pass up, and you do insight check just for
Do we
the
want to do that?
crowd.
Who, me? Or
Anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody?
Well, I mean, I got a +1 to insight, so I think.
I mean, I
Soren's-
got a +7.
I've got.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Soren's got the best one out of all of us.
All right. 19.
With a
19.
19, you kind of glance back behind you, and you notice that the crowd murmurs with your arrival, as they have not let anybody up into the lighthouse other than guard. So whether or not they are more anxious or mere curiosity varies across the group.
we
But
really need to get our cloaks emblazoned with our company name. This would have been so good for popularity.
I suppose you never miss a chance to think about our company image.
as you journey along the gentle northern slope leading to the Mother's Lighthouse, the cobblestones and wood of the dock slowly gives way to that gentle grass and flourishing plant life. Except you notice that this flora isn't lush and verdant as it should be. Instead, you see thick, brackish vines swollen like veins that are worming through the dirt, draining the coloration from the foliage until it becomes a sickly white. And
Question.
that is where we are going to end the first part of today's session.
Ooh, break time.
Fantastic build up to very eerie and mysterious lighthouse, I guess. I don't know what to call it. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all shortly for part 2.